Hey, what's up, guys? This is Andrew Smirsick with Combat Art Training. Today we're going to be talking about why you cannot skip Carry Pistol 1. Frequently you get emails and phone calls of people asking to skip Carry Pistol 1 and go on to Carry Pistol 2 or Advanced Pistol or any of the other ones when Carry Pistol 1 is a prerequisite. And we have to go through this conversation, so I'm just going to kind of go over all the things that people often say and discuss the why behind it. And this is now a video we're going to use to send to people who want to skip Carry Pistol 1, so we don't have to go through this full conversation. You're gonna pick up on some cool stuff, especially if you're brand new to training. You're probably gonna want to watch this video twice just so it really sinks in and you get a more thorough understanding. But anyways, if you receive this video as a reply to your message, this is why. Okay. Now, first off, Carry Pistol 1 is not about the permit. Okay. we give the permit as a bonus. We give that away with any class we teach because we believe permits are totally unconstitutional. We believe it's bullshit. The state demands you to go take a class and then give them money and go through their nonsense so that they can give you a card that says you are now allowed to carry a gun to protect yourself and those you love. We believe carrying a gun is a God-given right, not even a constitutional given right. Constitutionally insured, but then the state took that away anyways. So it's not about the permit. Yeah, we'll talk about use of force and stuff like that. We'll go over some of the stuff that you might hear in a permit class, but the way we do it is different, okay? Ours is about saving lives, and we're not gonna try to scare you out of carrying your gun like lots of places do. Now, if you just want the permit, that's all you're interested in, don't come to class. We don't want you in our class, okay? Just go somewhere where that does cheap concealed carry permit classes. Funny thing too, when you go to a certified permit class, the only thing that the state of Florida actually requires for me to give you the certification to get your permit is for me to watch you fire one round safely downrange. You know, you just become an NRA instructor, USCCA instructor. It's not that hard. Lots of times if you see that it just says certified instructor, it doesn't show places they actually went and trained at or any experience they have. They don't have to be like military or spec ops or something to teach a good class. But if it just says certified instructor, chances are they just got like an NRA cert or something like that, and it's not hard to do. And I can promise you too, if you come and take Carry Pistol 1, Carry Pistol 2, and Advanced Pistol, or any of our other classes, take multiple classes with us, practically you learned, you're going to be better than those guys. I can promise you that. Nothing against them, that's just the way it is. Now, so our class, Carry Pistol 1, for both new shooters and advanced shooters. If you're brand new, like even if you've never shot a gun before, that's fine. We want you to do everything safely and correctly. So follow 4 firearm safety rules and do things the way we showed you to do it. That's it. If you're a seasoned shooter, you've been to many training classes before and you practically learn you're a great shooter, awesome. Awesome. It's going to be great to work with you. There's going to be some things that you just hadn't learned in on those other classes. Ours are different, okay? We'll talk about that in a minute. But we will find ways to make you grow. We want you to be the best you can possibly be. This is about saving lives, okay? If we don't have you grow in our class and then you go out, like, we feel like we would have failed you. So we will find that next thing that you need, and your drill may be just a little bit different than these guys over here. We'll just be like, hey, I want you to do it this way, and you'll grow from it, okay? I promise you. Everyone we have that comes to class, they learn something and they grow in some way, okay? We're there to challenge you as well as teach you, okay? Now, as far as if you haven't done a training class before, but you've been shooting for a long time, something else people say, like, I've been shooting for 20 years, you know, or, you know, like my dad taught me or my grandpa taught me, you know, that's fine, okay? But it's not the same as taking training, okay? So, again, we don't have like a basics class, okay? We consider these things to be basic things you should know, but most people don't. But all our classes, compared to what is taught in the industry, all of our classes are considered advanced classes. Like even concerning the NRA, one of my buddies, he can teach every NRA class, right? He said that my most basic class, Carry Pistol 1, is more advanced than the most advanced NRA class, okay? Just as an example right there. All right, and we'll talk about the stuff we covered in that class a little bit later. But maybe your dad or grandpa taught you, gun stuff and how to shoot, and they were military or law enforcement. When did they learn that stuff? Something I learned from James Yeager at Tactical Response is training needs to be recent, realistic, and relevant, right? Recent, realistic, and relevant. So if it wasn't based around gunfighting, it was something else than what we teach, okay? And the methods we teach is different. So let's say you actually have gone and learned stuff from other classes. Our classes are different. There are other, tactical classes in our area, tactical schools, but like if you were to take their class and our class, there's a clear line, a clear distinction there, and the methods that we use and the things we teach and the amount of information we cover. The other classes you'll see is there's going to be like safety classes, permit classes, and basic classes. You should know all that stuff too. So if you feel like you need that, go take that too. And then there's another side where it's more competition based. There's a lot more use of like shot timers, and they may adapt it to like self-defense or a tactical scenario, but a lot of the principles there are based around speed and accuracy. We do believe you should try to be the fastest, most accurate shooter you possibly can be, okay? But the difference is lots of times there's like a score involved there, right? How fast were you? And was it all in the A zone, right? That's just one piece. That's just a skill of shooting fast and shooting accurately. And what we teach is based around when you are bleeding out, your loved one is bleeding out, the bad guy is still fighting, and you need to stop him before more people get hurt or die, okay? So what we teach is based around fighting through that, and the methods, everything we do, down to the way we reholster our gun, the way we reload, the way we clear malfunctions. That's just the most basic stuff in the class. It's all based around that. What we teach is based around saving lives in a gunfight, and it can apply outside the gunfight as well. But there's a clear distinction there. Now, going into some of the things that we teach in class, and again, it's funny because people want to skip this class, and some of those people, we had this discussion, and now they took Carry Pistol 1. They realized, like, man, I learned so much. Like, I wasn't expecting all that. I'm really glad I did take this. And what they will do is, they'll go take the other classes too, but they'll retake Carry Pistol 1 or Rifleman 1 multiple times, because when we do a class, at the time of this video, the second time you take it, or like anytime after that, it's half price for you. Okay, as long as you've taken that class, the next time you take it is half price. So they consider that their practice. Instead of going to the range and shooting, where we get lazy and we develop weird habits, right? We're not really held accountable except for the standard we're holding on ourselves. They come and they retake the class, and that's considered their practice. And that's awesome, because we've had guys retake Carry Pistol 1 and they do it all one-handed, or they get a red dot and they come back and do it with that red dot pistol, stuff like that. But they'll retake it multiple times. Now, the stuff we cover in class, I'm just going to go through the topics covered, and this is very brief compared to what we actually do in the class. I'm not going to break out the instructor packet for it, but safety. So actual firearm safety. There's only 4 rules, okay? And none of them say to keep your gun unloaded, okay? There's 4 rules. We have a video on it. You should watch that. You should understand them. You should be abiding by them at all times, and you should have those rules memorized verbatim. You don't have to have them memorized verbatim before class, but eventually you should. Then, use of a tourniquet. You're going to apply tourniquets. Even if you can't apply it to yourself for medical reasons, you'll apply it to me. You'll do it correctly, and you'll do it as if you were in a fight. Use of force, there's a tactical and a legal side. We want you to be able to get that through, get that discussion over with in your head immediately, so that it's not holding you back from making a decision. There's a lot of mental stuff within the class and actually the use of force. There's a lot of mindset in that part of the class. There's also mental barriers that we break during class, and you just have to come to class to find out what that is. We'll talk about one in a second, though. Martial gun handling, so handling your gun the way you would in a gunfight. People do other stuff, it creates bad habits. We enforce it during class, and you should be enforcing it on yourself after that. It's the way you become proficient. Target areas on the human body, we have a video on that. We have a lot of videos covering this stuff. We give out a lot of free information. Incapacitation versus lethality, drawing from concealment. You'll be drawing from a concealed holster. Sometimes in other places, they have used an outer waistband holster first. No, you're going to be carrying your gun concealed. You need to learn how to do that. That's what we do in our class. So inner waistband holster, shirts covering it, belt mounted holster. We'll make a video on holsters later. But there's holster requirements also on the gear list. Make sure you are following them. Marksmanship, get you shooting accurately, and will make you shoot a little bit faster too. It's not that big of a deal to shoot accurately, and we have videos on that also. People really overcomplicate it. Emergency and tactical reloads, very simple. Malfunctions clearing. Reloads and malfunctions, we teach you the simplest, easiest way that works under stress 100% of the time. Verbal commands, so basically just because your gun's out doesn't mean you need to shoot it. Sometimes you can win the fight without even firing your gun. Movement and maneuvering, two different things there. Shooting on the move, then use of cover, concealment, barriers. Oftentimes people don't understand even what that is, what the definition of each of them is, or how to properly use it. And that is something you really need to do under the eyes of an instructor so that you are doing it correctly. Contact shots. So you'll be doing shots where you're right up on the target, right? As if the guy came at you with a knife or something to bludgeon you with. Something that is one of the mental barriers we have to break during class, but you will be shooting the target while it's right up on you, okay? You need to know how to safely do that. A guy can't attack you with a knife from 15 yards away, right? He has to come up to you. Same thing if they got a bat or something. So we do that in class. 911 call and interaction with law enforcement. Hugely important. You wouldn't want to lose the fight. You know, like say you stop the bad guy, you're the hero and everything. Cops come and they kill you, okay? Or you say some dumb shit and that gets you thrown in prison, or that gets you a super lengthy trial. You know, you might win the trial later, okay? But the simple thing is you have to practice 911 calls and how to interact with law enforcement. Last year here in Florida, there was a guy who actually stopped an active shooter, and I believe the active shooter also killed a cop. But he stopped the active shooter, cops came, killed him, okay? And you would be surprised the things you will say under stress. So we go over that in class. 911 calls, interacting with law enforcement. Then gunfight tactics, overall thing that you know, I say just because we're doing that throughout the class with everything. Now this is just the topics covered listed on the site. There's much more we cover in the class, and the finer points especially hugely important. So like I said, we want you in class. You know, it's just, this is the reason why we don't let people skip carry pistol 1. The only people we've ever let skip carry pistol 1 were guys who had taken fighting pistol at tactical response, and we're fine with that. But they're two different classes. Like, you should still take this class if you're training with us, even if you've done fighting pistol. And we've had guys who took fighting pistol and still took carry pistol 1. They all grew from it. They were great to work with. And I didn't have to sit there and explain a lot of stuff with them. They're like, yep, I totally get that. But they still grew in other ways and picked up new stuff during class. So they just understand it. But that being said, if you have any more questions, email them to us or give us a phone call or text the business line or comment below, especially if you made it to the end of the video. Just comment something below, like get training. That'd be great. It helps the video a lot. at the end of this, there's going to be a thing that you can click on. It's a video showing some drills from Carry Pistol 1. I got a couple students in there. It gives you kind of an idea of what the drills feel like. And then that's also on the Carry Pistol 1 page. But yeah, that's it, guys. So just understand this is different, right? You know, we're going to teach you stuff, but then you're going to be let off the chains pretty quick. Like, you're going to grow a lot. You know, when we say fight, we want you to execute that drill as if your life and the lives of those that depend on you were in jeopardy in that moment. Like, we want it to be the most realistic thing, and we want you to be the best you can possibly be, and you got to take Carry Pistol 1 first in order to be able to do that. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Keep fighting communism, and remember that training saves lives.